Hell yeah, we are back, people. We are the people that do not fucking flush the toilet, much less let the damn lid down. And that's the reason why Ariel just shakes her head going, every damn day, every damn day. But you're listening to 96.1 Silent. Sonny's going to be taking over at midnight. Make sure to tune in to that damn morning show starting at 6 a.m. And, yeah, Brandon's pretty well cooked. We've started enough domestic issues here already today.
Well, listen. I figure if I can be in the bathroom minding my own business, pooping, and this woman come in and start taking a shower, it's fair game. Not that she must like the smell of me, and so sometimes I might just leave it in the toilet and let her smell it.
No.
Every woman listening just got pissed.
You said that's not the wrong. Well, listen. Okay. In all honesty, I do flush the toilet. I do. But if it's 2 o'clock in the morning and you have an emergency shit and you're half asleep and you roll over and you go to the bathroom and you can shit through a spaghetti strainer, flushing the toilet was the last thing on my to-do list.
Well, yes, and you didn't finish your to-do list.
I did not, because I said, fuck, I'm going back. I thought I did.
So what Brandon's trying to say in Brandon's words, but he can't figure out how to say it, he didn't want to flush the toilet and wake you up.
Exactly. I didn't want to risk flushing the toilet and waking up anybody in the house.
Now, if it was her in the middle of the night, she gonna flush the toilet because she don't want that shit there in the morning.
Well, if it's Ariel at 2:30 in the morning and she had an emergency shit, the problem with Ariel is once her emergency shit happens, then she has to refill her belly. So she might flush the toilet, but when she comes back through the house, she's going to grab 6 cups of milk and 3 boxes of different flavored Oreo cookies and sit in the bed with me, and all I'm going to hear is her munching out. And then she'll be like, yeah, I had to poop last night. I know. Well, how'd you know? Because you were eating I was getting hit with Oreo rain crumbs as you were over there munching them. Because you were half asleep, not realizing what you were. That would be her. Well, I just forgot to flush the toilet. And it was a really bad poop. It was an awful poop. I remember that poop like it was yesterday.
Because it was yesterday.
Like it was a very awful.
Well, on another note, there is some weird stomach shit going around, and especially with all the recall stuff with the iceberg lettuce, the bacon, and did you see that they're recalling refrigerators?
Oh shit! Well, I'm safe because mine's like 20 fucking years old.
Yeah, well, these new refrigerators, they're just fucking busted up, catching on fire in the middle of the night. Like,
oh lord!
Like, damn. I mean, if it ain't bad enough that the food that's in that motherfucker's being recalled, the damn unit that keeps it cold's recalled. 27 house fires in the last month.
Well, if they can recall all these cars and lettuce and refrigerators, can they recall people?
That's a good question.
We go in and we get like a fucking status update.
We get a status update.
And then they put us back out there and we're good to go.
Man, you fucked up by that because Ariel's going to walk through the house tomorrow and be like, oh, you're recalled. He'll be like, why? Why am I recalled? Well, the letter was in the mailbox and you didn't get the mail.
She would probably just look at me and go, have you seen you? Go look in the mirror. She has more fun cooking me on a daily basis for absolutely no reason.
You deserve every bit of it.
I do not.
You literally asked for it.
No, like Saturday when that woman jumped on me, I came right over there and I told you.
Okay. And she's looking at you like, why are you being a snitch?
Well, it's like, I told you what happened. And then you're like, so do I need 1 shovel or 2? And I'm like, why in the fuck would you bury me with a shovel?
Because you allowed it to happen.
Oh, yes, 1 shovel was to beat me up with, and the other shovel was to dig a hole. And then she's going to dig the hole twice as deep. So me and the hoochie could be together forever.
The hoochie that you want to stay the fuck away from you.
And I'm just like, I didn't even do nothing. But as you said, I allowed it to happen. So I don't know.
So on another note, besides you getting buried 12 feet under instead of 6, did you buy anything at the Snake Expo?
Well, we got two things here. Number one is there's a vendor that we traded a lot of info. He bought a rare snake that he shouldn't have, and the age looks wrong on it. But he knows who actually bred it, and so we know who actually. He told us, and we know the person, so we're gonna communicate with the other person first. Because when they're really rare, we do track who we sell them to and how old they are. The age is the only thing I'm questioning. It's like, if that snake is really 6, it needs food. If it's not really 6, I can definitely work with this thing. But a guy had snakes we work with, a trio of them. That's 1 male, 2 females, proven breeders, just ready to go. He wanted different projects, so he's selling these. And he had them discounted on his display over there, and Ariel sent me a picture. And she said, this dude has them. And I said, okay, I don't want them. And she said, well, why not? I said, I just don't want them. I don't even want to go look at them. I don't want them. And I went to pee, and on my way back, the dude recognized me. I gave him a fist bump. And this was his selling point. Like, he talked to me about social media stuff. And I said, yes, and my wife wanted me to talk to you about these snakes, these 3 right here. But I really don't want them. I already have some like them. It'd be cool to work with, but like I'm good. I wanted to offer him like nothing, like very little, and just a lot of vendors at shows need the money to at least cover their stuff for the weekend. So I'm like, I know how much it costs to do this. I'll just offer him that later in the show, like late Sunday or something.
People don't want to take stuff home.
Yeah, and if they haven't made their dollar quota, they don't care about what it is. They have a certain dollar amount they have to hit to break even or make money. And so this was early Saturday morning, and it's like, I really don't want to make a deal. And but I'd already told him my wife was looking at him, and he said, how about this? Give me your phone number, and I want to grow on social media kind of like you. And anytime I have a question, I'll just text you and ask you, what do you think? And you take those back to your table for free.
Oh.
I said, what? I stuttered for a second. I said, I honestly don't feel good with it. Be like, I don't want them for that. I said, I was actually going to offer you this much money Sunday, the next day for these, if you didn't sell them during the show, because that takes money out of your pocket. He said, dude, honestly, he said, I'm ready to move away from this whole species and be done with them. And me and my wife can message you and ask how to grow our page, but it will be me on the phone messaging you, but me and my wife can talk. And we really want to do what you do. And if you're really insisting, I will gladly take them, but I don't need to take them. So you make the call. I'll help you for free. And when I said that, he's like, dude, just take them. You can have them. And I give him my actual phone number instead of social media. And he texted me right then. He said, I'll be in touch. And I'm like, damn. So I don't know if that's technically buying something.
Well, it's bartering.
I am trading future work and future knowledge for something today. And I got back to our booth and I set them down, and I saw the look on my wife's face. She's like, I knew you were going to buy them. How much did you pay for them? And I just looked at her, and I just give her like the $0 sign over my hand. And she's like, bullshit. And he asked me to help him with social media, and he let me have them. But this the first time something like that has really happened. That was with, people do it with baby snakes or snakes that we really don't want. They're just like, oh my God, dude, you're so funny. Like, come pick something out. I don't want nothing you have. It's no offense to you. We just don't work with those. And I don't want one. This was exactly like, we literally have eggs in the incubator of snakes identical to these. And so it's right in my wheelhouse. So I'm like, yes. So
I got a good question. What snake is all pure white?
There's a few, but the genetic mutation is called leucistic or leucism. Is it leucism, honey? But it's a leucistic gene, and all it does is bleed all the color out, where it's still white like an albino, but it has normal eyes.
Yeah. Are they poisonous or?
It depends on the species of the snake. I know there's leucistic boa constrictors, leucistic king snakes, and rat snakes that we work with. Miss Ariel follows more of the venom. Is there a true leucistic? There's a leucistic monocle cobra, so yes.
Yeah, I've seen a white cobra before. I have seen that.
There are some venomous. I don't know if it's like people do make hybrids or they try to inbreed the genetics and then they just raise those kids, but breed those kids back to the parents to try to get the different species out of their project that they bred into it. They just wanted the genes. So I don't know if it's in rattlesnakes or any of that stuff yet, but it is in the monocle cobras because Tyler Nolan, a big YouTuber out of Florida, has quite a few leucistic monocle cobras.
No
and they're very
shit.
expensive.
Yeah, I that's one thing I was going to ask you off the air, about that, because somebody brought that up to me. What is the other snake? They call it the clear snake, but it's not really clear. It's like a gray color, but when it's moving, it almost looks like it's clear. Like a weird clear looking thing.
I actually don't study that genus, so I have no idea. Ariel's over here shaking her head like I don't know what that one would be.
Yeah, I don't think their scales or their skin is clear. I think what it is, it's like a gray color, but when it's moving, some people, and it's probably people have called this the clear snake that don't know snakes. So
I get a lot of people telling me they have chicken snakes, in their yard. It's like there's no such thing as a chicken snake.
Yeah. See, I don't know I don't know much about snakes. I got bit by a copperhead when I was a kid, and until I met Brandon, when somebody say something about a snake, I said the best one I've ever met is dead. But since I've got to know Brandon and Ariel, I've learned a lot about snakes, and the stuff they've kind of taught me about venomous snakes versus non-venomous, and they'll all fucking bite you. I mean, it's kind of eased my mind about snakes, and it's like they had that hurricane down in Florida. There's all these pythons out, and we hear all this shit in the Midwest that there's pit viper fucking, pythons and all this shit breeding. And the first time me and Brandon ever talked on the phone, and we had a meeting and about, coming on the show as a guest, okay? And then we started talking about snakes, and I'm like, well, this guy knows because this is what the fuck he does. So I asked him, and he kind of laughed, and he goes, there's no such thing. And I'm going to explain why. And his was like, look, a venomous snake is born in a placenta, okay? They're born live. A non-venomous is hatched. Them species don't intermingle. They don't work like that. And I'm like, damn, if they would have taught us way back in the day when we were younger, that's the way it was, you wouldn't have all these people saying all this weird ass shit.
Well, boas are a live birth, and they're not venomous.
Yeah, but the majority.
Yeah, most venomous snakes. Well, all venomous snakes don't lay eggs. Boas are the only, don't want to say only, but garter snakes are mildly venomous. They just can't hurt people. They give live birth, but once again, they are mildly venomous. So venomous snakes lay eggs and boa constrictors, as Ariel said, but for the main part of snakes, if you say snake and it lays eggs, you're pretty much safe.
Yeah.
After Googling, if people refer to a glass snake, she is an inquisitive mind. There are no clear snakes in nature. However, people do confuse a legless, it's called the glass snake, aka
so
legless
that's what they're
lizard.
talking about.
It is a legless lizard that has a certain gene mutation that looks like glass when it is moving. That's the only thing that Google pops up I've never seen. I've seen legless lizards, but not that particular
Yeah, because I've actually had people bring that up to me, and I'm just like, no shit.
And when that gentleman was bartering the snakes with me, a couple walked up talking to him, and the man was terrified of snakes, and the female was not. And I didn't know his snakes like at all. I opened up one of his baby snakes, held it in my hand, and I just set it in the dude's hand. He freaked out for about 8 seconds, and then everybody there, including him, was laughing at this little derpy baby snake that was curled up in the palm of his hand. And I said, honestly, I don't even know if that snake would have bit you or not. I've never seen that snake. Never held that snake a day in my life.
Yeah.
I just know that this particular species probably isn't going to bite you. And so I did that, and they ended up buying the snake from the dude. And I was like, see, here, hold it.
Yeah, and that's the big thing, guys. If you had a little bit of knowledge on snakes, you wouldn't be so scared of them. And I'm glad for my friendship with Brandon and Ariel that kind of broke me of some of that stuff. And something that Brandon said to me one day, the regular black snake, they'll jump at you, but they're not gonna fuck you. They're trying to warn you. I was walking around my lake and I had a big black snake, and that motherfucker jumped up like a lasso. And it wasn't he struck at me, he come at me but turned and did this weird flip thing and then took off in the water, and I was like, holy shit. But because I talked to Brandon, I knew to stop. If not, I would have fucking probably got bit by this son of a bitch, you know what I'm saying? But like Brandon said, if you get bit, you get bit. The black snakes, yeah, they fucking hurt, but it ain't gonna fucking kill you,
Yeah, some of them suck. Most of them, you're okay. Like, it's just. I learned a weird snake fact today. There was a vendor there from Puerto Rico. It's the first Puerto Rican vendor that's actually from Puerto Rico to ever vend in Atlanta. And learned something that I wouldn't have known. I actually had to reach back out to him because we talked Saturday and we talked Sunday, and I'm like, I'm not understanding this part, because he loved my snakes, but he said he couldn't buy any. And I'm like, well, you have to ship your snakes back to Puerto Rico because you're here selling snakes. So you loved all my snakes. You clearly have money and knowledge, but you couldn't buy any. And got talking with him in text. Every snake in Puerto Rico is illegal other than a ball python.
Really?
Because they have what they call a Puerto Rican boa, which is their native snake. And captive, you can have ball pythons because they're not going to get out and do anything really. And I have snakes, and they're all illegal in Puerto Rico, kind of like Hawaii. Yeah. They're all illegal, every single one of them. And I'm like, that dude spent like an hour a day at my table just Googling just the different colors I had and different species, and like, oh my God. And then it's like, why the fuck didn't you buy one this whole weekend? Like, you don't want to ask him that in person. So what, he has to
keep his snakes in the States because he can't bring them back home?
Oh, he can ship his ball pythons home, but he's not allowed to own actual snakes. And so he can come over here and look at all the pretty snakes we have for sale. And he's like, I didn't know that y'all were allowed to have all these. This is their first time vending here in the States. And I was like, I didn't know you couldn't have snakes in Puerto Rico either. Like,
yeah, that's crazy.
Well, I got to learn that, but it was just like, yeah, he was loving on them hard. And for him not to buy one, like Saturday, I understand. Sunday, vendors come back over. They still look, oh, you still got this one. If you still have this, when the show's done, I'm going to offer you a little bit less. I'm the other vendor. I'll get a little discount, something like that. And he didn't. And it pissed me off a little bit. Like, this motherfucker was loving these damn snakes. Why didn't he buy them? And I finally reached out to his company because we all traded cards and stuff. And I'm like, why the fuck didn't you buy it? I can't. They're illegal here.
Yeah, because he could probably go to prison. I mean, I know in Hawaii, it's prison sentence you get.
Well, he can't get them back through customs.
Yeah, I could see that. You know what I'm saying?
And I'm just sitting there like, holy shit.
Yeah. Yeah, I know when the Street Outlaws went to Australia, they tried to get a fucking koala bear back, and they got caught.
Oh shit!
Yeah. There's a story about that. They tried to get a koala bear back, and Yeah, they, didn't work out for them. But on that note, guys, we're going to go right back into music. You're listening to 96.1 Styling. It's All That Monday. We'll be right back with the recap.